Hey, Will, just kind of going back to last Thursday. I mean, we know how much Vita means to you guys as a defense, and personally, you play a game with injuries you have to deal with all the time. But when you see something like that deck over the weekend, I mean, from a human level, what does that do to you to try to process all that and go back out and play?
Uh, well, I'll answer as a football player first. As a football player, you know that the next man is up. Got to be able to hold everybody to the same standard and accountability. As a human,
Yeah.
seeing it, it's very tough. You know, you're seeing your friend get hurt, or you're seeing the guy who's behind the same shield getting hurt. It's gruesome. It affects their family. It affects their mindset and their mentality. So it's a hard thing to see, but like I say, in this business, you got to keep pushing forward.
Right. Thanks.
All right, next up is going to be Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Will, how much have you guys as players talked about the penalty problem that's kind of plagued you for really the last two seasons, number one in the NFL? Have you discussed it a lot, and what do you think that really needs to be done to just cut down on these penalties that are costing you guys?
We discuss it through discipline, I would say. We know that we can't go out there and do those things. It'll hurt us, and it has hurt us in the past. And so it's all about accountability and discipline. Eye discipline, and just being disciplined within your technique. And I think once we get that going consistently, we'll be all right.
Bruce is just saying that he feels that teams aren't marked in the NFL as being, big perpetrators of penalties, but players can be marked coming in. Have you noticed that?
Well, it's not my job to officiate or do any of that. That's a really hard job for those guys. Shout out to all of them. But no, it's really hard to say because you can see certain games, you'll see somebody make a hit as a defensive lineman, like, man, all right, that's a little questionable. But then you see somebody else make a hit, and it looks totally different. Or you see a hand here or a hand there. At the end of the day, it's football, and the referees are human too. You know what I'm saying? It's human error in everything we do. Not to say that they haven't any errors, to be honest with you. It's hard to answer that question.
All right, thanks.
All right, next up we're going to go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Will, you flashed that as you sat down. You got to tell us about that belt, man. What is that?
Oh, you mean this belt right here? Yeah, this is my community. I won the community MVP this week for the month. You know, it's a prestigious award. Not everybody gets it. I got it.
What is there something specific in particular that's for what you did?
Just being able to be a part of all the community outreaches and doing things just to give back with the community. Yeah, I think the last winner or the last owner of this belt was Allie. He does a lot too. So it's a lot of competition in here because all the guys in the team, we always try to do the best we can do for our community.
Will you wear that around the locker room?
I'm wearing this all week for sure. Okay. I'm gonna wear it to the game.
That's right. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next up we're going to go to Steve Isbiz.
Will, this has kind of been a special start of a season for you when it comes to rushing the quarterback. Is there a change in your game that you can point to?
I think it's just finally grasping the concept of what I need to do in the defense and how to take advantage of my opportunities. I wouldn't say it's anything specifically outside of that.
And what was and is the team's attitude after that tough loss on Thursday?
Oh, we chalked it up. We watched the film. We changed it. We corrected it. I think that we will be okay moving forward, not making the same mistakes. And it was a tough one. It hurt. It hurt me for sure.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to go over to Tom Krasnicki.
Hey, Will, hope you're doing great. My question is about defending Aaron Rodgers this week, and we all know he's the king of the hard count. He loves to get the defense to go off sides, those free plays where he takes shots down the field. So has that been a point of emphasis from the coaching staff this week, just staying on sides and having that mental focus, not to jump off sides?
That's an emphasis every week, to be honest with you, to be able to have that type of mental focus. And Aaron Rodgers is a fantastic and phenomenal quarterback. You've seen it year in and year out. One of the most explosive offenses we're going to play thus far. So it's going to be a big and good challenge for us as a defense.
What about trying to get to the quarterback, and if you can't get there, you get your arms raised up maybe to try and knock down a pass or two? Is that also going to be something you guys are going to be focused on this week?
We definitely have to be relentless in the rush. I think they only gave up like 3 sacks so far this year, and they barely turned the ball over. So we got to be relentless in our rush, definitely get your hands up. It's a lot of the things that we have to do, the little things, is all that's going to count this week.
All right, next we're going to Gillian.
Yeah, to that point, Will, the Packers seem to do a really good job protecting the quarterback, and Rodgers also does a nice job of getting rid of the ball quickly. What makes that group, the guys that are protecting him, what makes it so difficult going up against them?
When you watch the film, you see that they work together. They work well together, too. Some newer guys in newer spots, but they work well together. They got a dynamic quarterback. He gets the ball out quick. Well, like I said, it's going to be a great challenge to play against him. Like, when you watch the film, it's going to be a good matchup.
How hard is it coming off a loss like one where, you have a little bit more time in between the game because you played on Thursday night? You kind of have to sit with that for a few more days versus, playing Sunday and then getting back out on the field Sunday. I mean, how tough is it to kind of come back from one of those when it sits with you longer? Or is it?
I think it's pros and cons to it, but I think everybody, we had an opportunity to we got prepared another day better. You know what I'm saying? We was able to prepare more for Green Bay. Leaving the plane, we lost. I lost, a big asset. And, the loss was tough. But like I said, we got to move on. We have great expectations, and we got to be able to accomplish them.
Thank you.
I will go to John Ledyard.
Will, this season you have not played a ton in the Agaps as a nose tackle. With Vita going down, do you anticipate maybe playing a little bit more, at least situationally, in the Agaps at that nose spot? And if so, what are some of the differences in playing there?
It's a big difference playing in there. It moves a little faster. Got to have a lot more weight on it. But whatever any of the coaches ask me to do, I'll be able to do. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm not 100% sure what I will and won't do. I can't say that. But if they call my number to do it, I'm going to do it.
What have you seen from guys like Khalil Davis, who we haven't gotten to see a lot of really since camp ended? What have you seen from guys like him that are going to have to step up now and play some more snaps?
He has a fantastic motor. He's a very relentless player in general. During camp, I felt like if we had preseason games, he would have been a better player. But we had in those scrimmages, you can see his elevation in his game. And with that type of motor and his quicks and all of that, it's really good attributes to have as a defensive lineman.
Thanks, Will.
We'll close out with one from Leo Haggerty.
Will, the fact that you can play different positions on the defensive line makes you very that magic piece in the puzzle, but it also doesn't allow you to focus on one position. Is there drawbacks to that as well?
I would say no, there aren't any drawbacks to being able to play multiple positions. And it just means you have to focus on the details a little bit harder on each and every one of them. And as long as I can do exactly what I need to do and stay accountable and make sure I'm in my gaps and play sound football, I think it won't be any drop from going position to position.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks, Will.
All right.